Great. That looks great to us, Peg. And are you guys ready for the event?
Yes, we're ready for the event.
All right, Chicago Sun-Times. This is Houston. Please call Alpha for a voice check.
Alpha, this is Chicago Sun-Times. How do you hear me?
We have you loud and clear.
Great. The first question is for Dan. Dan, I'm wondering, does being away from Earth give you a greater appreciation for it? And if so, in what ways?
Well, sure, in a couple ways. One, you get this beautiful view out the window. We go around the world every 90 minutes. We see all parts of the world, and you see the incredible colors of the various continents. I'm starting to almost recognize the type of cloud formations in the far South Pacific and South Atlantic, and it's just such a beautiful place. And of course, you end up feeling responsible for it and ownership of it, and you want to take good care of it. And then, of course, it's just the three of us up here, and we miss friends and family, of course, and so you gain a greater appreciation for that too. So, of course, yeah, I miss, I do have a greater appreciation of Earth and everything on it.
Does Earth seem more fragile or less fragile when you're that far away?
Well, I guess there's a concept of fragility when you look at when you go through dusk or a dawn, and you can see sort of the very thin layer of atmosphere that surrounds our Earth, and we know that that's what really protects us on Earth. And you can, it just is stark to see how thin of an atmosphere is sort of that protects us on the Earth from all the things that could really harm us. So in that sense, yes, you see a very thin atmosphere, and you realize that our life depends on that, and really we should take care of it.
I know, Dan, that you've been on a few missions already. What's next for you? Do you want to go on more space missions, or is this it for you?
I don't know. Life up here is great, and we have a ball. It's fantastic work. I don't know. We'll see what gets offered to me, and we'll make a decision as a family probably together.
Mm-hmm. Now, you missed Thanksgiving. You're looking forward to Christmas, I assume?
Well, the current schedule has me coming home before Christmas. We'll see if the shuttle schedule can cooperate, but certainly if I can make it home by Christmas, that would be a big advantage for my family and myself.
This is a question for Peggy Whitson. I know that you were on a pretty long spacewalk with Dan, and to watch it from back home, it seems so effortless, but could you describe how physical it is to be out there for 6-7 hours, and what did you do when you got back inside?
Well, the first thing we did after we got out of our suits was get something to eat. We were all pretty hungry. But the work outside, it depends on the specifics of the task. Some of them can be somewhat complicated in terms of the task. Some of the fluid QDs that we were doing are a little more complicated. But I think probably the worst ones were some of the electrical QDs that Yuri and I struggled with on our first EVA. So it just kind of depends on the situation and the specifics of the task.
Is it tiring to spend that much time out?
It's my hands and my forearms are usually what get tired the most. It's really taxing, requires a lot of hand and forearm strength.
Dan, you've done a few spacewalks. Does it ever get to be old?
No, absolutely not. Every time you open the door and look outside and realize you're going to go out into space in your spacesuit, it certainly never is old. And in terms of the work-wise, there's always a new task to do. Everything you've trained and learned something new, and you're anxious to get that accomplished. And then again, you have now a 180-degree view through your helmet of the Earth. And when you get a moment, it's fantastic to hold on to the space station with one hand and look down at the Earth and realize you're flying over at 17,000 miles an hour above the Earth, and it's a fantastic experience.
Dan, I know you're a Cubs fan, and the news here in Chicago today is about Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks, possibly buying the team. What do you think about that? Are you in favor of Cuban as the next owner of the Cubs?
Well, I don't really have an opinion. I certainly hope they keep the name of the field, but I don't have an opinion about the owner of the Cubs. I certainly hope. I think we've got a really good team. Hopefully, we'll go into 2008 with a winning team and end up as the team of the century.
Are you able to monitor news from back home, or is there no time or no availability for that?
We are. We have a great group of folks down in Houston that maintain sort of a web page for us up here on Orbit. Each one of us gets our own web page, and they compile and send up both newspaper clippings and also some news programs, video news programs, and they can ship the files up to us, and we can watch them during our downtime or while we're exercising. So I think we keep pretty well up with the news, and we talk to home mostly every day for most of us, and we can find out what's going on there too.
Mm-hmm. You have opinion as to whether you like Grossman or Greasy at quarterback?
All the tough questions. No, we're just hoping the Bears win, and I don't have a good opinion.
Okay. And I assume that you're looking forward to coming home, but I'm wondering if you'll miss space when you do leave in a few days.
Absolutely. There are things about being up here that are fantastic. The floating around is something I don't think I'll ever get tired of. It's so enjoyable. And then, of course, looking out the window is unbelievable also. And then working as a team, as a crew up here, we've become very close, and we are a team together. So I'll miss that camaraderie.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck to the entire crew.
Thank you very much.
Alpha, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the Chicago Sun-Times portion of the event. Please stand by while we reconfigure space to grounds.